We are on to level 2, describing a sequence of transformations that will map congruent or similar triangles onto each other. On this level, we have gotten rid of the labels for the vertices A, B, and C. And now on the triangles are numbered 1, 2, and 3. So we need to be able to describe a sequence of transformations that will map 1 onto 3. The goal is to be able to get from 1 to 3 without seeing 2. But to get us there, we need to get through level 2. And on level 2, the triangle 2 is shown. That was a coincidence. All right, so on your paper, we're going to use our padded paper, our transparency, and we are going to decide what happens from triangle 1 to triangle 3. A couple of things I want you to notice. The base of triangle 1 has a length that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units long. The base of triangle 2 has a length that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's interesting because if I go back and I study triangle 1 again, the height of triangle 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And the height of triangle 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's interesting. Why is that interesting? Take a minute and think. Why is that interesting? What does that tell you? Hopefully, you did not say that it tells you that the triangle was dilated. Because if the triangle had been dilated, then 4 and 5 would not still be 4 and 5. Commutative property, 4 times 5 equals 5 times 4. That's the same thing. So please, I hope you did not say that it was dilated. What I am hoping you thought is that it had been rotated, it had been turned. Now the question is, how had it been turned? Get your patty paper and rotate triangle 1 until you get to triangle 2 and tell me what you were able to come up with. Hopefully you were able to see that it was rotated a certain number of degrees. I do not know what the number of degrees are, but I am going to look at it again. I'm going to rotate my paper, and I am going to conclude that it was rotated 90 degrees. I wonder, was it rotated 90 degrees clockwise or 90 degrees counterclockwise? If we take this entire figure, and I'm doing this with no patty paper, so just humor me for a minute. If I take this entire figure and I rotate, now I'm looking at triangle number 1, I'm looking at this triangle, and I rotate 90 degrees clockwise, 5 is now standing up, and 4 is at the bottom. Let's go back to the original. 5 is standing up, 4 is at the bottom. Let's go back to the original. 5 is standing up and 4 is at the bottom. Which way did I go? I went 90 degrees clockwise. So the first rotation, the first sequence is a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. The second rotation, I keep saying rotation, I mean transformation. The second transformation moves triangle 2 onto triangle 3. Now notice that the size does change. And the only transformation that the size changes is dilation. So we know that it is a dilation. However, we do not know the scale factor. We need to figure out what the scale factor is. So it was a dilation with a scale factor of. Okay, now look, you all, I'm coming back over here to figure out what the scale factor is. Once again, my loves, scale factor is equal to the dilated figure over the original. And I am going to write this as a fraction. Okay, so now scale factor is the dilated over the original. One side that we know is right. This 4 is the base of the original. Don't go back to this one. Let's look at what happens from 2 to 3. Better yet, change that. Let's look at what happens between 1 and 4. 1 and 3. Let's see what happens from here to there, knowing that it was a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so now here is the height of the original triangle, which was 4. It was then turned, and 4 is at the bottom. So now 4 that was at the bottom is still at the bottom, but it became 2. Rewind and replay that again if you need to. But the 4 became 2. The dilated figure is now 2. And the original figure is 4. So this scale factor is, once again, 1/2. So then we can say that the sequence of transformations is a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise with a dilation, and a dilation with a scale factor of 1/2. Now we're ready for level 2 on your own. Here is level 2 on your own. You have to describe a sequence of transformations that will map triangle 1 onto triangle 3. Pause the video, take a minute, try to do it, come back and check your work. Alright, now it's time for the big reveal. You have looked at the second problem on level 2 and you think you are ready to check your work. Da, 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 da. Here it is. A reflection across the y-axis, and then a dilation with the scale factor of 2. You are ready to move to level 3.